Hi everyone, it's Finn here again. You're nearly at the end of this video series. We've spent quite a long time filming these since the first one, as you can probably tell by the length of my hair, which is now so long from lockdown I've had to stick a hat on it. Also, I'm in a different room. The nurseries have reopened, so my kids are out and I can finally move out of the attic and downstairs. This video is focusing on some common mistakes I see in first drafts. You should all have written a first draft of your 5-minute scene by now. It's easy to make some beginner's mistakes. This is a guide to some common ones, which I hope will be useful. I'm not going to read this sort of word for word. This document is in the shared folder for you to read in your own time, but I just want to whiz through a few of these ones in the column on the left and talk them through. All talk and no action is something that I see quite a bit. Characters just chat, and it's not clear at all what the sort of stage image is. This comes back to the point in one of the early videos about playwright being spelt W-R-I-G-H-T at the end. It's a three-dimensional art form. You are curating stage images as much as you are writing words. So if it's not clear what the characters are doing whilst they're talking, and it can just be a mundane thing, then give some thought to that. If it can work on some kind of metaphorical level, then so much the better. Missed the main event, where characters describe something that happened in the past or off stage or both, is usually a sign that you could do more to drag those key events on stage and show them to us. It's not always practical to, of course, if it's something big like a car crash or something, but as far as you can, try and make sure that the drama is in the present tense, that the action, the main part of the action, is unfolding in front of us. That's what keeps audiences engaged. A lack of subtext, that's quite a common one. Characters just say whatever they're thinking and feeling. No one does that in real life. We all have a kind of subtle dance around what we really want, and the skill in drama lies in recreating that dance, but also the kind of power play between characters. Even if they're best of friends, there'll be some subtext there. Low stakes, there's no real consequence to the conversation for either character, which makes it hard for us to care. Think about what they might stand to gain or lose by the outcome of this conversation. That's how you can keep us interested. Similarly, no conflict. They just agree or chat and shoot the breeze and don't really have to struggle or work to get what they want. That's a job to get into the second draft if you notice that in your first draft. Character sounding too written. That's something that sorry schools, I blame schools for. Schools teach us to write in full sentences for the purposes of essay writing, which is of course an important skill. But we're not writing an essay here, we're writing a play, and that needs to sound like it's real people speaking, which is much more messy than full sentences. So go back over your first draft and have a look at what you've written. If it sounds too neat or too full, then think about breaking it up a bit. Add some slang or some contractions like don't instead of do not. You can even practice recording some real speech, either off TV or radio or real people, and transcribing it, and that will give you a really good sense of how real people actually speak. Short scenes. You are writing a short scene, a 5-minute one, but sometimes I see scenes that are even shorter than that, just a few lines or half a page. That's much more common in screenwriting than playwriting because the camera can move around much more easily in time and space. In drama, we tend to spend longer in each location. So I'd recommend that your 5-minute scene would probably be in one single location. If it jumps about all over the place, it's going to be difficult to stage and difficult to follow. So have a look at your first draft and see if it does that. There's a few others on this left-hand column. You can read them in full for yourself. Characters all sounding the same is one that I would draw your attention to. It's easy for the people in the play to sound a bit like us, the writer, when actually you've done a lot of detailed work on character and their backgrounds and distinguishing their voices. Have a think about how that might inform how they speak. And if it's not possible to cover the left-hand side where the names are and still tell who is speaking, then you might need to go back and rough them up a little bit and make them sound different from each other. So these are just some of the things that I see. None of them disastrous, of course, but have a look and see if they appear in your play. The other thing you could do at this point is you could send each other your first draft and see if someone else with a fresh set of eyes can spot some of these in your play, and vice versa. You could do the same for them and write a few notes about how they can tidy that up and solve some of those issues in their second draft. Enjoy and happy writing.